We're about to speak to our Edmonton Bureau Chief, Ryan Rishaug, and I know he will love me bringing up these names from the past. Leon Draisaitl tied Wayne Gretzky, Mark Messier, Jari Kurri, and Glenn Anderson by scoring those 4 goals in an Oilers playoff game on Wednesday night in Las Vegas. Draisaitl, 11 goals in his first 7 games. That is 2 goals more than Gretzky and Messier, who each were tied for the Oilers' all-time lead with 9 goals. Draisaitl continues to impress. So does this guy. Here he is, Ryan Rishaug. And Jay Woodcroft said afterwards, Shaggy, that he thought that this team shot themselves in the foot with some seriously costly errors in this one. And I know Craig Button said the same thing at the beginning of the show. Curious to get your thoughts at what mistakes stood out to you.
Yeah, they definitely got in their own way here, Jay. I think, they didn't make Vegas earn it in quite the way that I think you should have to in the second round of the playoffs. And I think these were mistakes that were definitely changeable. Darnell Nurse running out of position on the 1 goal. If you look at that same goal, Leon Draisaitl stops his feet moving on the back check. Couple more feet, and he would have been able to get there. So a mistake like that. And then you go quick strike offense by Vegas, right? Right after the Oilers score, they get back-to-backs. Guys being left all alone in front to deflect pucks with no issue whatsoever. Blown coverages, basically a 3-on-3 situation where players are able to get wide open and just missed coverages. So I think, and then some penalties that were costly as well. They're trying to get back in the game at the end and get the goalie out of the net, and they take a too many men on the ice penalty. So just details in their game that were costly here in the first game.
And you had an interesting question for Jay Woodcroft after this one, and I'd love you to expand on it. This Edmonton Oilers team did not play with the same lines that they had practiced with the last couple of days, Ryan.
Right. Yeah, so here's the thing. Jay Woodcroft likes to throw misdirection with his lines. So we pay attention every day at practice, right? Are McDavid and Draisaitl playing together? Are they playing on separate lines? Well, I can tell you they finished the LA series together on a line. They practiced together 2 days after the first round playing on a line. They warmed up before the game tonight, playing on a line. Game starts, they're not on a line. So, Jay Woodcroft likes to throw that misdirection out there, but I would suggest to you that they look kind of disjointed early on in the first period at even strength. I think there's a risk-reward here, right? The reward is, okay, you throw lines at them that maybe they weren't expecting. The risk is 3 days of practice where the lines aren't playing and flowing and getting into a rhythm together. We asked Leon Draisaitl after the game if it bothered him. He said, not me, but it might some guys. Now, Jay Woodcroft said that he didn't think there was a risk in doing it this way. I got to be honest with you, Jay. I don't like it. You've got the best 2 players, arguably, on the planet. Put them on a line. Don't put them on a line. Let them all practice together the way they want to. And don't send the signal that there's a reason for you to have to be sneaky. Small thing, but I don't like it tactically.
And you mentioned Leon Draisaitl commenting after the game, and of course, someone tried to ask him about scoring 4 goals in a playoff game. That is no insignificant feat. I mean, it's an incredible feat. Of course, he deflects that, doesn't even want to talk about it. Is it possible that Draisaitl has even another gear to get to in this postseason, Ryan?
I think it's possible because if you look at the gear he hit last year, basically on one leg, we were all blown away with what he was able to do there. And now, we believe he's playing healthy. And look at what he's been able to do so far. Just incredible goal-scoring prowess. How about the one that he put off Brossoit's back? I mean, just threading the needle. Just ridiculous. And if you've ever seen the guy's stick blade, it's crazy that he's able to show that kind of touch with that giant boat paddling stick. So the answer, I think there is potentially another level in him because he's healthy and he's getting better and better. And I'll say this, Jay, there's a lot riding on him right now because there are some other guys who during the regular season were huge contributors that haven't been able to get a ton done here. I'm starting maybe with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, right, who hasn't scored a goal yet. I'm sure Evander Kane would like to be doing a little bit more. So Draisaitl's carrying a big load right now.
And Connor McDavid is contributing, but you have noticed, particularly in this game, that he seemed to be nursing an injury in this one. Does it seem like, you talked about Draisaitl playing so well injured last year. Do you feel like McDavid's able to play to his full ability this year with a potential injury?
Yeah, and I want to be careful with this. Like, we know there's a difference between being injured and being hurt. So I don't know exactly what's happening with McDavid. We saw in the first round he took a tough hit from Drew Doughty. He was often seen shaking that leg out, trying to make it feel okay. We saw him at practice looking a little bit banged up as well. What I'll say is this. He's usable. They're playing him 24 minutes. and he's making great plays, and he's playing good hockey. It's not that he's been bad, but Jay, we all know that Connor McDavid has the ability to separate himself with a level of speed that we have not seen before. And I would suggest to you that we're not seeing whatever that percent is, that extra 5, 6, 7, 10% he has that no one else does. I don't think we're seeing it right now. That separation isn't there. Those quick pivots left to right where he's dangling through guys, he's hitting the offensive blue line and his feet are still. You never see that with McDavid. So I think he's still usable. I think he's still playing really well, but I do think he's diminished somewhat.
Ryan Rishaug has diminished none whatsoever. He's still at the peak of his game.
Up here.
Yeah, up there.
Up here is diminishing.
Fair
Jay.
enough,
Up
fair
there
enough. But that's all of us, buddy. That's all of us. We're all fighting that battle.
What are you going to do?
A couple of days, and Game 2 will be Saturday night. We're looking forward to chatting with you then. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.
Sounds good, pal.